You're listening to the You Don't Know Me Yet podcast network.
Hey, you are tuned in to Two Gems and a Mic with hosts Tanisha the Diva Mahomes and Linda L.D. Dorsey. Just know, if we talking about it, you need to hear about it. Unwind and enjoy. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Two Gems and a Mic. I'm your girl LD, along with my girl the Diva, and our boy Darren Smith. What's going on?
Oh, same old. Just better at my predictions than you all are. That's all.
So we're gonna go ahead. I know we gotta hear Darren. Please go ahead and give yourself a hand.
Stop it. Please, hold on. Please, no. Please, you do not have to give me an extended.
Yeah.
Okay, I appreciate it. Okay.
We can stand up. We can do all that. So let me do a little housekeeping before we get the show, because you can see that somebody's missing. So after it was a rough wild card weekend for some teams.
Absolutely rough.
And falling below Pat Mahomes Sr., aka Silky P, has officially been dismissed from making predictions on the show, at least for now. We may let him back next week, but at least for now.
No. I'm gonna clown him. I'm gonna clown him. Because he quick to run up here talking about Tanisha following everything I say. But where's my prediction?
So Darren went 4-2 because the outlier that he picked from us was he picked the Bears, and he also picked what was that other team you picked, Darren?
Jacksonville.
They lost though. You were 4-2.
Yeah.
Those are the two games I lost.
But those are outliers.
Right. Now, but you had one extra game that you won that we didn't win. That's
Houston.
No, me and Tanisha picked the Texans too. I'm trying to figure out who it was that we didn't pick, that you picked. I don't know. I'll figure it out.
I don't know. I had the better record though.
Anyway, he got the better record. We at least own that shit. He got the better record.
We did, because the Pats, they picked the chart. I might be right with you. Hold on.
Run that through.
I picked the Packers. That's what messed me up. That was
what about me? What about Tanisha?
It's 3-3. We're both 3-3. We're 500. We're still there. Pat was ass on this one, so he's out.
Trash.
Yes, so we kicked him to the curb.
No,
we actually didn't kick him to the curb.
Where is he at
tonight? So he's off the hook. We'll get him in for this one.
No. You make time for what you want to make time for.
He working. He working. He's officiating. So we give him that. That's he the referee.
Not letting him slide.
Yeah, you.
Thank you. I'm not letting him slide because he's my brother. Damn that.
No, if he was here, we would dog him out. I prefer
to
what
I'm saying. Get on up here,
but he can't make it. We're not gonna sit here. I'm not sitting here till 10 o'clock. Y'all on the Central Time.
I will say, hold on. I will say this about Pat. Pat was very confident in his predictions last week.
Like, look.
I think the pit pick for him, and he would have to come on next week, speak for himself, was kind of from the heart. I think he wanted that for
Herbert.
for Tomlin
and Herbert too.
Yeah,
and for Herbert,
because he picked the Chargers.
You meant okay. I was just talking about the pick game, and yes, Tanisha picked the Chargers too.
He kept thinking Harbaugh, Herbert, they gotta get it, but no, they didn't get it. They gotta get it.
You picked them too, Tanisha. You picked the Chargers
also. I'm telling you what my brother picked. I know what I picked. I'm 3-3. I'm in a better position than he is. Make sure you run that through.
I know, but what I'm saying is you also picked the Chargers, so I'm not sure how you
did because I picked the Chargers because I too thought Herbert.
Not I
too. Yeah, you're right. Yes, exactly. I as well. Is that what you want to say?
I got you. I'm messing with you.
I as well felt that Herbert
give you a hard time.
Herbert and Harbaugh as a combo was going to do something, but what I witnessed was an ass whooping.
Yeah.
Okay, so therefore we're going to move forward. Yes.
Okay, so
I as well.
Out of all of the games Did you see what game surprised you the most? I'm gonna start. I'm gonna tell you what game disappointed me the most, and that was the Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears. I don't, and I'll say it publicly. And Darren, I know you're gonna disagree. Chicago did not beat Green Bay. Green Bay beat themselves. All
Okay,
of
I give
that
you that.
comeback. They lost the game, so a L is a L, but they beat themselves. So that was very disappointing to watch, and to watch them just fall apart in the second half.
Incinerate right in front of everybody. Yeah,
I'll be honest. I think for me the most disappointing game was the Sunday night game. I mean, the Chargers and the Patriots. That was just a hard game to watch because there was really no offense. I think the only score came on a defensive. I think it was a defensive touchdown or something. Or I don't know. I know the Patriots scored a touchdown late, but I mean that was a horrible game watching. Especially knowing that we had seen 4 games. Over the last 2 days that were essentially one score games because they went down to the wire. Like I think it was like 4 points in all those games. That was the difference maker. And so, compared to how the wild card started. And then that particular game, the end Sunday night, because I thought the Monday night game was decent. I mean,
that game was decent, man. That was bad.
I mean, it was decent up until the fourth quarter. That's what I was going to say. But even leading up to it, it was kind of hard because it was like every time the defense of the Texans did something, well, hell, C.J. Stroud was giving the ball right back.
Oh, he was. Their offense. Yes, I agree with you 100%. That offense looked terrible. He looked terrible. I'm not gonna say the offense looked terrible. CJ he was making really poor decisions because
that's what comes to mind. Horrific.
Yeah. Because when the play is over, Take that sack or whatever it is you got. Don't turn it into a turnover. And that was I'm
gonna jump in here. I thought it was interesting that players that were no longer in the league were calling for an investigation on Stroud, saying, "Hey, he needs to be investigated." 5 turnovers.
That's weekly. If you go online and you look at social media, if somebody they need to investigate McManus, it was 5 investigations that needed to kick off this weekend. If you really want to look, but that's what people say, right? So people are like, these games are fixed. They're this, they're that, whatever. I just think teams have meltdowns. We did it earlier this year. I don't see how in the playoffs the Giants had struggles, right? So we gave up those points that we did to the Broncos earlier this year. I don't see how in the playoffs you give up 25 points in a quarter. Just you can't do anything.
But I thought it was interesting that players were coming out and saying that. And listen, do I think that CJ was trying? No, I don't think he was trying to throw away a playoff victory. No, but I thought it was crazy that people were starting to say that, and I just thought I'd throw that out.
And like you said, ex-players, so who cares?
If
it ain't players that's playing now.
The Le'Veon Bells and all that,
Well, Le'Veon Bell's wife is running for a Republican office, so he has no credibility, nor does she. I said that publicly. So he's the comments. If you listen to anything that Le'Veon Bell has said in the last year or 2 years, somebody needs to look out for him in CTE because his intelligence is not shining through. It wasn't shining through since he shot himself in the leg. So his credibility, not there. Go ahead. What do you say? Flag on the play? Okay. I'm speaking the truth. My truth. I'm speaking my truth. That ain't nobody else's truth. That's my truth.
Yeah. No, nothing wrong with it. I'm just throwing out the flag.
And that's why he ain't playing for nobody. But
you got something to say about that, sir?
So I gave you mine. Darren gave you his. What was your most disappointing one, Tanisha? Or surprising, whatever you want to call it?
Probably Philly's game. I didn't think Philly was gonna lose.
Okay.
I just did not think Philly was gonna lose. Is
that
fair? Because I really thought Philly was gonna win that game.
No, that was fair.
I love Jalen. You know how I feel about Jalen. I love Jalen. Like, I'm a person who feels like Jalen doesn't always get his just due. But
you got to do to get your just due.
Huh?
You got to do to get your just due.
He got a Super Bowl.
Okay.
And that's something that Josh Allen, Herbert, name everybody that you think that's special right now outside of Mahomes and Stafford. Please tell me who has it left. So
who has what? Who has what?
Roles. Like if you say just do, you got to earn it. Like Jalen has one.
Okay, there's people that played on that team that have one. I still don't rank him as a top 5 quarterback.
But Josh Allen ain't got one.
I ain't say nothing
Lamar
about
ain't
Josh
got
Allen.
one. I'm talking about the best quarterbacks out there currently, in my opinion, don't have them, but he does have one, and so I always feel like they don't give him his props because he still had to make plays. And I would say on record that a lot of people would think that he outplayed a particular quarterback to get those whether he lost one or won one, he still outplayed a particular quarterback. So I'm saying I'm one of those people who actually, I'm a Jalen fan. I actually like him, but to see that him lose like that, like, you know, the team lose, I wasn't expecting that. Maybe the next round, but not this round. I wasn't ready for that.
I picked the Eagles to win. I only picked them to win because they're at home. The Eagles have not done anything, and I've been saying it all year. You can go back and look at all the episodes. They have not done anything to impress me.
You've been saying that all year
long. They look flat.
They've done nothing to impress you.
That loss was not shocking to me. The game.
But I'm one of those people that feel like, you know, players make plays. When the big moments come, you're gonna have something. And I think when we were all chatting or whatever, you were like, they didn't step up to the plate like someone thought they would. I don't know who it was in the chat, that group that said that, but I was thinking they're gonna get it done, and they never got it done. No. So yeah,
they played like they played all year long. So that's why they're at the house.
But I still like Jalen. Okay.
No, yeah, you like. I mean, that ain't got nothing to do with the other one. That's a team. It ain't him.
I just felt like, I felt like he was gonna get it done. So right to the end, I was team Jalen there for a second. Okay.
And before we go to the pick, so the game that was a little tricky was the Bills Jaguars. It was 27-24, but the Bills didn't run away with it, and the Jags, that interception. Yeah, it was costly, but I mean, they were there. They were right there. So, something to watch out for, right, with the Bills. The Bills and the Broncos, that'll be a very interesting game for me tomorrow.
They pick the Bills, though.
All right, we're going to get to the picks. I do have to, I can't remember the lady's name, and Darren, you probably will. The lady that gave her little motivational speech. I'm going to come back and find her name.
Lynn Jones.
Say again, Lynn Jones? Mm-hmm. Can you give me some applause for Lynn Jones, please?
Oh, you hadn't asked for it too much.
She motivated me. I'm trying to put that on a. I need her to call me once a week.
That's why I'm gonna be like this, Lynn Jones.
I need her to call me once a week. I watched that man, and I watched him stand up straighter as she spoke. I thought that was great, and I thought it was just piss poor how sports commentators, some were coming for her, saying that she was wasting their time and doing that. You're never wasting anybody's time if you do anything kind, and that was a kind moment. So
thank you. Repeat that, Linda.
That was a kind moment. You don't waste anybody's time. You don't.
You don't waste anybody's time when you're doing something kind.
Nope.
She was being kind and being blessed.
That's right. She blessed that man that day by being kind, and that was touching for me. All right,
absolutely.
So I have done enough chatting. We're going to jump into the divisional round. The first game we got going on tomorrow. Darren, since you the king. You the king right now. Got to say it. I hate to say it out loud, but say it out loud.
Hold on. Just
all right, Darren.
You got it. I like I got it. It's his show. It's his show. So it is what it is.
Let him have it. Let him have his moment.
Gotta let him have it.
Go ahead, Darren.
I mean,
Darren.
Consider I didn't get it during the WNBA and the NCAA stuff. Yeah,
I know you making up for it. You making up for it.
All
right,
so we got start going against me.
I'm not mad. Do you, Darren? Let's go.
Tomorrow 4:30, we got the Bills at the Broncos. Who and why?
Oh, you want me going first, or
yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Man, I'm not gonna lie. This I think is gonna be a very good game, and it's to me it's tough because obviously you think that Buffalo has the momentum going into this game. Obviously, because they just played last week. I think as much as everybody seems to be rooting for Josh Allen, I like Denver in this game. I just think it's something about their defense, and I believe they beat them earlier this season. I can't. I thought they played each other earlier this season, or maybe they didn't. But all I know is that with this defense and Coach Payton getting them to this point where that defense was built to be the high part offense, technically the Chiefs, and now you got Josh Allen coming in, and look, everybody said week in and week out that they don't have an offense. They don't have any players outside of James Cook. So if I'm Denver, I'm trying to run the football, keep Josh Allen on the sidelines as long as possible, and when you get in, well, first of all, I want to know who's he going to throw the ball to because you got the defending defensive player of the year in Pat Surtain on one side and Riley Moss on the other side,
and you're missing Gabe Davis.
Yeah, and so we've seen how hard that defense hits, and takes their licks on quarterbacks. So to me, they want Josh Allen to try to run. Because they want to get all the shots on them that they can't. Now, I mean, obviously anything can happen in the playoffs. The last time I think these two teams played was last year or something. So last year where they beat them 31-6. But I think but that was in Buffalo. This time it's in Denver. And the one thing we know about Sean Payton, he has a long memory and he doesn't forget things like that. So if he can run, exactly. So if he gets a chance to run the score up, he will do so. I don't think this will happen.
Yeah, he will. Yeah.
He's
I love it. Yeah, I love when you run the score up on somebody and make them feel like they have I love it.
There. Who you got, Tanisha?
That's a really tough game, but I see two quarterbacks that have the same mentality. All right, so I'm gonna do this shit, and I may be dead wrong for this because I see two quarterbacks that want to put everything on their shoulders and bring their team to the forefront. And if I had to pick out of those two who can do it better, I gotta go with Josh Allen because Josh Allen has been there many times before. So I'm gonna go with the Bills, and I'm only gonna go with the Bills because the Bills have been there, done that. They may not have the same squad, but the coach, the whole the Josh Allen, he does have some players that's been with him. I like Cook. I'm gonna go with the Bills on this, just simply because when you've been in the playoffs before, you understand the playoffs are different than regular season. They gotta buy. They're not ready for what they're about to receive. I 100% believe that Josh will figure out a way to get it done. Just like I said against the Jags, and I was right on that. I feel like they're gonna figure it out against the Broncos.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go against the grain. I'm gonna go against the grain because I 100% think they are the underdog, but I'm gonna go with the Bills.
Okay, I'm going with Denver.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Denver, and I'll give you my reasons why. I disagree with what you say about playoffs and all that other stuff because Green Bay been in the playoffs and they lost to a team that had not been in the playoffs.
So, Green Bay.
Yeah, last week we talk about old playoffs.
Playoff
pedigree, and they've done that. They done that. It doesn't matter.
But they still got a young QB.
Say again.
They still had a young QB that had not been in playoffs like how Josh has been repeatedly in the playoffs.
We just say playoffs. Team been to the playoffs before they did this. Cool, they did that. What's his name? They had a coach that been to the playoffs. All that stuff didn't work. I don't think that matters. Sean Payton, he's petty. I don't like him. I don't care for him. Love Bo Nix. Bo Nix is not the same as Josh Allen. Bo Nix is smart. Bo Nix is not going to get himself killed. He's not going to put their team on his back because he trusts his other play. He trusts his players. He trusts his running back. He trusts his wide receivers, and he trusts his capability as in his arm. I think Josh gets it to a point sometimes. in my eyes, where he panics. I gotta do it myself. I mean, we saw it last week. Hell, the lineman carried him damn near to the end zone. Lifted him up and carried him.
They lifted him
scored
up
2 of
and
their
walked him in
touchdowns.
there.
They stopped going to their running backs. Everything goes out the window, and it's the Josh Allen show. And that's not going to work against this defense. Like Darren said, now you missing. I don't know what they're gonna do with Coleman. You know, when he playing 1 minute he ain't playing. I don't know what that's all about. You're missing Gabe Davis. That's your experience. That's the guy who it don't matter. You're missing him. Poyer's hurt on the defensive end, so you got some missing parts there, and your stuff only goes so long. I don't take anything away from Josh because I like Josh Allen. I like his game and all that, but you know, like we said, he gonna put the cape on. Cape got some holes in it. I just don't see it happening. I think I'm going with Denver. I'm gonna go with Denver on that because I just think that they're ready. They're ready.
You said something that's interesting. You said that, and I know how like most people don't know this if you haven't followed the show, but Linda's like Bo for a very long time when he was in.
I'm Oregon Bo.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Linda's like Bo from
yeah, I'm Oregon Bo. I'm like
he's
New York Giants try to figure out how to get Bo Nix.
Bo was gonna be something.
Yeah,
and I like how you said something that Bo. You feel like Bo actually believes in his players. Now I'm gonna tell you something straight up. That's one thing that I wasn't thinking about when I was predicting the Bills because it's not that I don't believe that Josh believes in his players. I just believe that Josh believes in Josh more than he believes in his help. So that's interesting. So it will not surprise me if that comes out that way. Yeah, you called it because Josh, I know Josh believes in Josh, and he may have that one man, you know, I'm gonna get it fixed. I've watched him do that with the Chiefs, and it hasn't worked out for him.
Yep. When he depends on other players, he plays well. Like that one game when he was dependent on everybody. Actually, it was Gabe Davis. Gabe Davis had 4 touchdowns. They lost, but who thought they was going to lose with 13 seconds left? One of the best games I've seen in a long time. But we'll see what happens. That's just my perspective. Not to say it's right. Just something.
Let's move on. But definitely, definitely, so, you're right.
The next one we have up is the 49ers at the Seahawks. Darren.
Ooh,
it's supposed to be tougher, right?
Yeah, no. I mean, this is a great round of playoffs. I think I'm gonna have to go with Seattle in this game. Look, it would not surprise me if the Niners win, but I just think, man, those injuries is good. It's eventually got to catch up. I mean, and losing George Kittle last week. And
that was tough to watch.
It was tough to watch, and somehow look, and the Eagles, I think they pretty much gave that game away because I mean they had the game won lots of times, but just allowed them to come back. I think the crowd noise, I think the fact that they're well rested, and look in Seattle, to me, as long as Sam Darnold doesn't see ghosts or behave like he did, in the last game, last 2 games that he played in Minnesota, I like the Seahawks in this game. I'm not gonna say it's big. I think it's one of those games that because they're also division rivals, I think it's just one of those games that it just goes down to the wire. I think it's going to be a close game with that. I just think Seattle will pull it off at the very end.
Okay, Tanisha.
I actually was going to go with Seattle as well, and that for that reason, I don't know what it is, but I just think that they are more well-rounded on all fronts, and I feel like they're gonna win. I mean, like I said, the 49ers are a little bit banged up, but I do like what I'm seeing. I like Darnold's confidence. I like that they believe in him. And I've been a Darnold fan for a hot minute, and I'm glad that this is coming to fruition for him because I've been saying that sometimes you throw these young quarterbacks out there too young, and he stood the test of time. And I 100% believe that he may actually pull this off. So I'm going to go with Seattle. I am 100% going with Seattle.
I'm going with Seattle too. I think that the 49ers are, I think the 49ers are banged up.
I didn't see that coming from you.
Yeah, I think the 49ers are banged up. You're going to be in Seattle. I think that makes a difference. Kittle loss, it could motivate them to say we got to win it for him, but that's a big loss. The way he blocks He can catch. He's fully
Kittle does a lot.
Yes, he's multi-dimensional, so he's not just a tight end catching the ball. He does a lot for that team, and he's a motivator for that team. The other thing is that I think that Seattle, what's his name, Jackson Smith and Jigba. He's been there, but he really hasn't shot. He hasn't come through in the last couple of games. He's played a great season. Don't get me wrong.
That's because
if he turn it on, I know, but I'm saying if he turns it on, they're not going to be able to stop him. They were hoping that they would get Fred Warner back. I thought it was going to be quick. Would love to see what they could do for them, but with him not being 100%, I'm kind of like, kind of chill out. So if you look at Brock Purdy, he threw 2 interceptions last week. The Eagles didn't capitalize on it, and the Seattle has a good defense. Seattle has a good defense. They can get at him. So that line can get at him. And if you got some height, and Brock, as you know, he'll throw it right into the hands of one of those defensive linemen.
That's what I was about to say. The fact that the Eagles didn't capitalize on those turnovers last week is crazy to me.
Yeah.
Because, yes, you're right.
They did.
Yeah, so I'm going with Sam. I'm going with Sam.
Yeah, we're going to see what Seattle does. I think as a whole team, and it ain't just Sam. It's on both sides of the ball, and I think they're well coached too. So we'll see.
Oh yeah, they get after you. They get after you. So they're gonna get after you.
The Sunday game, we got the Patriots, Texans going into New England. Darren,
I like the Texans, man. It's just that defense. I mean, it's what we talked about last week, man. I mean, and it showed. I mean, I told y'all how that team treated Josh out on that Thursday night Amazon Prime game was, and Josh is mobile. I'm like, imagine what they're gonna do to Aaron Rodgers. Man, they beat the holy hell out of him last week, and
yeah, they did. They killed him.
I mean, and to be quite honest, look, I mean, to me, I have no doubt about what the Texans defense can do. My concern is literally C.J. Stroud, and honestly, it's kind of hard for me to roll with them because they're going to be without Nico Collins.
I was going to ask you, is he out? Definitely,
he's out. Yeah,
he's out. Okay,
he's been ruled out.
Okay.
However, I also see what the Patriots offense looked like last week, and they were at full strength. So I mean, so I'm. This one is more heart over head, but I'm going with the Texans. I'm going with the defense, and I think C.J. Stroud advances for the first time to the championship game.
Okay. Tanisha?
So let me ask you one question. Without Nico Collins, who are the receivers, Darren?
I couldn't tell you.
I know you got Christian Kirk for one. You got Schultz as a tight end. The other receiver, he was playing pretty good. I can't think of his name.
You got Jaden Higgins. That's his name. Jaden
Higgins. Yep. They're not bad on receivers. And
Woody Marks, the rookie running back, along with Nick Chubb. They can. Again, if C.J. Stroud plays mistake-free football, they should be able to win that game. The question is he going to have 5 turnovers like he did last week? That's what they can't have for them to advance.
So it's funny that no. Reason why I said that is because I'm a big Nico Collins fan, and I understand, but I also love Christian Kirk, and I wanted y'all to say his name because I think he is going to be a difference maker in this game, and I wanted to hear y'all say that because with Nico, it's Nico, but Nico has been injury prone, and if you haven't paid attention, so I am going with the Texans, and
okay, I know let's get to that, and then
I am going to Texans, but it's gonna seem crazy because when you look at what's on the other side. You think, okay, but that Texans defense, oh my God. Let's give them some respect because I think they're gonna be all over me like Lord Jesus. Like, it's one thing when you free to throw the ball. It's another thing when you're under duress. And that's the word I'm going to use because they're going to be on him like white on right. Stank on shit, syrup on pancakes. You understand what I'm saying? It's going to be rough out there in them streets. And that's why I'm going to go with the Texans because I think their defense is enough to cause enough havoc that allows CJ to do what he needs to do. So, yes, we're all on the same page on that one.
No, we are not all on the same page because I'm going for the Pats. And I'll tell you what. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say
I almost shot you the bird.
No, I was gonna say
my hand went up.
I was gonna say Tanisha said all that, what she could have said. I agree with Darren, and you could have.
I could have.
She repeated everything. So,
but I wanted you to be excited. I wanted to do a little something.
I am a huge CJ Stroud fan. I love Anderson. I love that defense. Watching what they've done this year, that is the number one defense in the league to me. Mm-hmm. They are not playing against Aaron Rodgers. Mike Vrabel has been running that boy crazy all week. Drake may have been running all over the place at that defense. That's right. But he's prepared for it. I think he's prepared him for it. They know what that defense can do. They know what that defense can do. He's not Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers can't run. So you can't compare anything that Aaron Rodgers did let me finish. Anything that he did last week. I don't think that New England played well last week. I think that they're going to play better. I think the Houston offense to me has not shown up all year. They've been winning. They've been winning on the strength of that defense. And they definitely didn't show up. We know that last week. So if you didn't have the defense, that game could have went either. Well, Pittsburgh just didn't have no offense either. So, like I said, I'm a big Houston fan. Ain't never been a Patriots fan. I'm going with the Pats. Go ahead, Tanisha.
No, what I was saying is, it's like, I don't know if you've ever heard about how Mike Tyson said everybody got a plan till you get hit in the mouth. Right. I don't think that May has been hit in the mouth. Sometimes when you get hit a couple of times, you saw how Josh Allen got hit and he curled up in the fetal. Josh Allen's a lot bigger than Drake May. And
they gotta hit him. That's what I'm saying. So if they start hitting him, but that ain't no guarantee.
That's what I'm banking. That's what I'm banking this off of. Is that he not gonna be Speedy Gonzalez, the fastest mouse in all of Mexico. I'm expecting him to get popped, and when he get popped, everybody change their plan.
And that's fine. We're expecting two different things. That's why you picked Houston and I picked the Pats, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. I'm just throwing it out there, though. Yeah. I agree. They got the best defense in the league, but I think they got a coach. I think they got a coach that's preparing for it, and I think they have an offensive coordinator who's been there.
But they better have one.
He's been there, and he knows.
Because if he gets sacked a couple of times, you're going to see the game plan run out the damn window. They're going to be on playing C.
Josh McDaniel, come on.
Okay.
We'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see. Yep. All right. See. The next game,
I own it.
Huh? We both gotta own it. It's on here and it's in writing, right? So after that, you got the Bears. You got the Bears and the Rams. The Rams going to the Bears. Supposed to be snow tomorrow, bad weather, all that other stuff. Darren, who you got?
I'm going with the Rams. I think we talked about last week. I think the Rams were my Super Bowl team, so I'm going with them. Again, the weather could be the difference maker. Dome teams, California teams don't really play well outside in the cold like that. But, you got a chance to, you do have a chance to try to get to someplace possibly. Who's got the number one seed? You go to Seattle. If you win that game, that's another division game. So I just think for the Bears, they can't afford to give up 18 points early on in the game. They do that, they're not coming back. Not from this offense and Sean McVay. One thing Sean McVay will do, he will run up the score. He ain't trying to keep it close. Whatever the Packers did, trust me, he done took notes. He ain't doing that. So I like and I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think it's going to be perhaps a one-score game. I think the Bears will put up a respectable fight. I just don't think that they'll have enough in the end to overcome it.
Right. So I'm gonna agree with Darren on this. The Rams have been my pick. I think they're winning the Super Bowl flat out. I've said that, and like you said, it's not about a blowout because I really like what Caleb has done in the offseason and how he Wills' team and how they've had those comebacks, I think it just ends this week. There'll be no more comeback wins or all that stuff. I just feel like Devontae Adams, Puka, it's too much. It really is, and I'm going on the offensive side. I'm saying that they're going to go out there and throw the ball out. And I'm not saying it's going to be a blowout, just like he said, but they're going to win and maybe a score and a half, maybe 10-point win or whatever.
She says score and a half. Damn. Yeah, well, we need to hurry up and wrap the show.
Score and a half. I mean, let's kick some field goals. I'm saying they're gonna kick some field goals. I'm saying they're gonna kick some field goals. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna kick some field goals.
We have no idea.
We don't know what that is. I don't know.
I'm just saying they're gonna kick some field goals.
Okay. All right. So 10 points.
I feel like there's gonna be some. We may have. About 3 field goals that come into play that's going to change the game. But
we'll see.
I 100% believe the Rams are going to win that game, and I think Caleb is going to have an awesome game. I really 100% believe that. I don't think it's too big for him. I think he is really where he needs to be, but the team is not there. There may be a year or two, get some more players and everything, but I think they're going to lose. I think they're absolutely going to lose. And I think Caleb.
I'm going with the Rams. Also, I like that pedigree. With the Rams, Puka has just been unstoppable. It starts with an H. I am horrible with names tonight. Y'all know I was sleeping on the couch. Who's their tight end? Maybe don't start with it. For the Rams. Parkinson is one of them, isn't he? Parkinson. He's been doing some stuff, and then you still got Devontae Adams. So all those weapons there. The defense ain't looking bad either. They got a good defense, and they're a well coached team. I just think that the Rams, the Rams will do it. I think the Bears will give them a run. I think they'll give them a first half run. I think the game gets away from them in the fourth quarter.
Oh, really? You think he's gonna get away from him?
Yeah, like you said, and Darren, that made me think about it because if Sean McVay he puts his foot on your neck and then he digs it in a little bit more. So
that's the true
if he
story.
Gets that opportunity, the game he will make sure that the game is away from them in the fourth.
Yeah, I wish Andy Reid and some people certain cut. I like a good stumping.
And look, and let me say this: the thing, and the reason I go with that with Sean McVay is because he understands the situation, which is amazing when you look at what happened last week with the Packers. Like, you got to understand the moment and the situation. Like, you're up over it's a division opponent for them as well. So you're up over the Bears. You've got to. And everybody in that stadium thought that the Bears were going to lose that game until they just kept, the Packers just kept letting them in the game, and so McVay knows that. Okay, cool. We win this game. We only one game away from being in the Super Bowl, and right up the street from from where we. So for me, that's how he's going to be coaching this game. Like, okay, let's put the women and children to bed early so we can go on there and
take their spirit. Take their spirit. Exactly. I'm with you, Darren, and that's how McVay. That's McVay. He's all about digging in there, pulling the heart out. And LaFleur, he's got to get to that. That was last week. We see what he do this, next year. But yeah, I agree with you. I think fourth quarter, everything McVay got in his pocket, he ain't taking none of it with him. So it ain't gonna be I should have did this. He's gonna do everything that he need to do to get to that next game.
And one thing he will do, and the Bears do it too, but they always find themselves coming from behind. But McVay's gonna run that football. He gets the lead. He's gonna run that football, take up all 40 seconds of that play clock, and do what needs to do. As long as he gets out there with a W, that's what he's gonna do.
Yeah, and Stafford knows how to do that. Stafford knows how to do that well. And that team clicks. You just watch them play, they click. They really do. So I'm just saying. So that wraps it up for us. I mean, Darren, Denver, Seattle, Houston, Rams, Tanisha, Bills. Seattle, Houston, Rams. I got Denver, Seattle, Pats, Rams. So I'm the oddball out. We'll see what happens with that. Any closing thoughts?
No, just I mean, as it relates to Miss Jones, look, I'm not someone who's gonna lose, gonna go crazy over what she did. I wouldn't have done it, but that's just me. But I don't have an issue with what she did because, I mean, that's her way of doing it. And so, the people who were going out and bad mouthing her, look, I was texting Jamel Hill like, hey, you got to pull back because that ain't cool, and
Oh, she had some comments about her.
yeah. But she was woman enough to go on her own platform and then on Ben Chavis's platform with Miss Jones to publicly apologize to her face to face. So she wanted to do that, which I respect that but because the blowback was real, but also I didn't like it because there was a reporter in Cleveland who did just that a week prior to Kevin Stefanski, damn near pouring his heart and soul out to him, and was sneak dissing his team at the same time while he was giving, praising them and giving us flowers, and nobody said nothing about that. But you had strong words for this woman here. I didn't take.
So let me ask you a question, Darren, because you're in those rooms. If they call on you, you say whatever the hell you want to say. I mean, as long as you ain't out of pocket.
So
as long as you ain't out of pocket. So what's the
So the protocol it depends on where you're at. So like with the Chiefs, either home on the road, they don't, so you can shout your question. You just try to overtalk somebody and get the, get your question asked, and they'll respond to it as it gets later on in the presser. The PR person will say it's going to be a couple more, and he'll point out who can talk next, and that's it. But essentially, you have the floor to ask your question or make your comment or whatever. The thing is that the people who do it, a lot of times in these press conferences, they ask the same questions or they try to ask it in a different manner, and it's like, bro, he already answered that, and so and so
it's redundancy.
And so 99% of the time, the coach or the player is going to be professional and just they may say, "Well, I answered that earlier," or they may just give you the same answer again. Mm-hmm. And again, the problem I have with a lot of these reporters is that you got smoke for her, but but most of them are afraid to ask questions. Or so for myself, example as an example, when we're in the locker rooms, the reporters are afraid to go up to the players and start and ask for an interview or talk to them or whatever. Me, because of my relationship with the players, I just go up to, hey, can we, boom, D, let's do it. So then once they see me talking to them, then they all come running over.
They want to come over like a million mics up.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And then when I'm finished, then they want to start talking. But up until that time, they just stand in the middle of the locker room and afraid to talk to somebody. So
right. I mean, I thought, and I was listening to, some of the other, like Pat McAfee, he was like 27 seconds, really.
Yeah, I mean, it's it's what's interesting is that the press conference was only 6 minutes long, six and a half minutes long, and so reporters had opportunities before and after she asked, she said what she said to ask questions. Now, whether or not they did or didn't, that's on them.
Right.
I mean, and so and again, I tell them all the time, it ain't my job to do your job.
Exactly. No, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. I'm glad that she did what she did. For me, that's all about that
now again, now I will say, because myself and Rob Parker kind of go back for now. It is not standard. It is not protocol, but like I told him,
every once in a while we got to do something that's different.
Yeah,
and that's what we need, something different.
But I said, for me, I'm not going to lose my mind over it. I'm like, because first of all, that's Auntie, and I'm not doing that
messing with
because y'all not going, if you're not going to smoke for these other reporters that ask these dumbass questions. But you got an issue with that,
right? Because
I got a problem with you,
right? Because you have reporters that up there say, "Oh, right after a game, how do you feel about your job?" That's a dumbass question. Where this woman was giving them praise. So we'll end on that note. Like I said, I think she did something that was, something that we preach. She was kind. She was kind, and kindness is free. And we ask that people be kind to each other. She was kind to that man, and it definitely It definitely made a difference.
And one last thing, because she mentioned on an interview with the news station the next day was that she saw in his eyes where his eyes were watering up, where he was not that he was on the verge of crying in front of everybody, but I'm saying but she saw the hurt and the pain in his eyes from that loss.
From that loss. He was emotional.
So that's why she said what she said. Again, now for us.
I get it. I mean, I watched him, and you could see him stand up, you could see him smile, and you could see him, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am. His whole demeanor changed when they had that interaction. So I thought it was great. I thought it was a message. I saw a lot of comments where people were saying, "Hey, I need that lady to call me every Monday morning because I need that kind of motivation to go back in and go to work." But
one last thing. If it was so quote unquote unprofessional, the Jaguars wouldn't have retweeted that video. The NFL wouldn't have retweeted that video.
We get all of that. Right. So I'm not even. I mean, I think most people, except for those few that were saying what they were saying, knee-jerk reactions are the ones that were like she was wrong. A majority of what I've seen and everybody's seen, they were happy that she did it. And in this day and age, that's what we need. We need kindness. Tanisha, you got something? Because we're going to close it out. We're running a lot longer than I wanted.
No. I'm good. I'm good.
All right, so
we having issues here, it's Texas, and God forbid it's 37 degrees.
So. Okay, so until next time, everybody, please remember, be kind, be blessed. We'll be back next week. We'll see who wins. Maybe Darren will be clapping his hands again. I know you had to get one more in there.
No, sir.
Yep.
No, sir.
And as always, until next time, peace. Thank you for tuning in to Two Gems and a Mic. Be sure to subscribe and follow. Until next time, remember, be kind, be blessed. Peace.